Welcome, everybody. Sportsbook Review. It's Thursday, December 22nd, getting closer to Christmas Day. This is the Puckheads show, NHL. And guys, I'm telling you, our last show had a lot of fun. I felt like there was some good energy, and I felt like there was some sharp picks. Dana had an off day. He was 0-2, so he cooled down a little bit. I went 1-1. I lost on my puck line. Yamir Yager said to say hello, by the way.
No, I called. Twice now I talked
and he says he didn't tip you anything. But anyway, Scotty Carter had a great day because he got a push. He didn't have a loss. He didn't have a win. But you know what? Hey, that's one way to turn it around. All right, with that being said, guys, it's Christmas coming up, so there's a big slate today. There's a lot of teams that have back-to-back games, some going into tomorrow, because after tomorrow, I don't think there's any more games till Tuesday.
Yep, nothing. So there's got a lot of back-to-back games, so it'll be really interesting, guys. We were talking about it earlier in the office there. Watch out for who's going to be starting in goal, because there's very few guys or teams that are showing their goalies right now.
Yeah.
Price is for sure playing, and I know Bishop's out for 2 or 4 weeks, so you know the goalies are going to be there.
He's probably going to go back-to-back then.
He's probably going to go back-to-back. And tomorrow, there's going to be tons. The only 2 teams that are playing tonight that aren't playing back-to-back tomorrow that are off until after Christmas, there's Anaheim and Ottawa.
Okay.
All the other teams are playing tomorrow that are, most of them, except
well,
for
you and Dana both do us
anyway.
a favor then, if you will, just tweet out what you may know tomorrow for our viewers. Let's go to Dana Lane out in Vegas. Dana, how's everything going out in Las Vegas? You have any snow out there yet?
On the mountains, we certainly do, and it's raining today, so we'll see what happens when I get outside today. But it's raining and it's cold, and welcome to hockey weather in Las Vegas, the weather nobody thinks exists.
Yeah, you got it. You got it. All right, guys, let's go into this holiday break red hot and on fire so we can melt some ice. Dana, let's start with you. What's your first pick of the day?
The first pick, Mike, and these are all going to be for a unit and a half because we're, again, trying to manage that bankroll a little bit. Despite the record, we're still up, so let's keep that in mind. Montreal minus $1.24 against Minnesota is my first play. And look, Montreal defensively, and I've been very critical about them offensively because I just don't feel like that they generate enough chances. But defensively, they have been extremely solid, and a lot of that defensive effort has led to scoring opportunities. They don't generate a lot of short shots on goal, but they certainly score a lot. So that's a plus. I just think when they get against better teams, I just still have to see whether or not they're able to generate enough offense. This is a team that's 4th in goals. They're 4th in team defense. Their power play seems to be getting better. It's back over 20%, which will help them offensively as well. And Andrei Markov is going to be back tonight, which should help Shea Weber offensively when Shea can get back into a level of comfort. So I like Montreal tonight to make a statement against one of the better teams in the league. In fact, I have both of these teams at 6 and 7 in my power rating, so it'll be very interesting to see the final result.
Yeah, and
Pacioretty's been really playing well too. Pacioretty,
Sure.
I'm sure he knows that.
Yeah, and Montreal's on home ice here. I wanted to ask both of you guys what your thoughts are going into this break mentally. Even the teams that have back-to-back now, the ones that don't, like St. Louis Blues, they got a game tonight and then they're off. Mentally, for the road team and for the home team, is there an edge there because some guys just want that break?
Well, for me, I think it just kind of depends on where you're at. I mean, if you're the Anaheim Ducks, who have played 11 of your 15 games this month on the road, I think you probably want to get home as quickly as possible. I think it's a team by team basis. I think each team is a different entity psychologically, and so I think you have to take everybody on a per team basis rather than just saying this is what a team would typically feel like.
Okay. Good breakdown.
Well, that's my pick as well. That's one of my picks.
There he goes again. He's just jumping on your back. Hell, who can I trail today? I'll just
but it's an actually interesting game. I know.
Yeah.
But it's an actually interesting game. If you guys remember, about a month ago, Montreal was like, they're still one of the top teams, but they were like the best team record-wise. They went into Columbus, which they play tomorrow night in Columbus, and they got killed 10-0.
Yeah.
Now,
10-0?
10-0. They got killed.
That sounds like
and
a
after
baseball
that, they went on a
game.
roll. They played a few games at home. They went on a roll. So tonight, they're for sure starting Price.
Okay.
I wonder if they're going to start Price in there tomorrow night because they didn't last time and they lost 10-0. So it'll be interesting how they play that. But anyway, that's my official pick, Montreal minus 125. I don't think they're going to be looking ahead to tomorrow night for the revenge
And
game.
they're getting respect on that line. I'm talking about Minnesota because as Dana and I last year, when they went through that coaching change, that team has gotten some big respect from the books.
And they're playing
no
well.
doubt.
But I think, the thing is, we don't know who's playing in net tonight.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
They're playing in New York tomorrow against the Rangers.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to save him tomorrow night because they know it's going to be
Probably Probably, and I'm telling you,
that's my
Montreal's
guess.
defense right now is just eating up people. They're like an eating machine. That defense is the real deal.
And a great point, Markov is playing back tonight. It's so important,
huge.
those two guys.
Okay, so you're going to back Montreal minus the 124 as well. All right, I'm going to shoot out my first pick. I'm going to be going with the St. Louis Blues at Tampa Bay. All right, Tampa cashed for me the other night. I like the Blues because, all right, Paul Stastny, he's doubtful, but Alex.
He's out.
Yeah, he's out. All right, but Alex Pietrangelo, whatever, he should be back. That's what I'm reading. He should be back tonight. The reason I like this, they beat him 6 times, and I know that's kind of hard to continue that, but here's the thing. This is their last game. Tampa has another game. I got a feeling Tampa's going to try to save a little bit, and I think St. Louis wants to go out on a winning note on the road, get that extra day of rest, and I think they're going to be fired up for this game. I got it at minus 110, and I want your guys' thoughts on that. Blues at the Lightning.
Wow, that's interesting. I'm not convinced the Lightning's good this year.
I think Dana left the room or something.
I think Dana is probably having an ice drink or something.
I'm trying to give you the floor for once, Scott.
Yeah, I know. I try not to butt in because you're the expert and the hockey expert here.
Here we go.
But I like that pick, but I'm scared of it because of Stastny not being there. But
But what are your thoughts on the fact that it's their last game? They know it. They want to go out on a winning note. You're facing a team that knows we got another one tomorrow. I don't know, man.
I don't think any team goes in there wanting to lose. But I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying.
I just think there's going to be a sense of they're in their heads. They know they got to play tomorrow. So that's where I think
that's
the
what I
edge
was saying
is.
about the Montreal game against Columbus. I'm hoping they don't look over.
You know what? Hey, how about Dana? Why don't you come down and you can sit in the studio with this guy and let me go to Vegas?
Okay, I'll shut up.
Give
Go
me a
ahead,
damn
Dana.
break.
You say something. Go ahead. Say something about that.
Well, I will tell you one thing, Mike. The biggest factor for me in this game is the fact and is the way and the manner that St. Louis lost to Edmonton the other night. And if championship teams don't lose those kind of games, so as I'll explain in the Anaheim breakdown, this is kind of a gut check time for St. Louis against the Tampa Bay team that just can't find its wheels yet this year. Even Bishop or Vasilevsky have had okay years, and I just think that the loss of Stamkos has been huge to that team. Nobody has stepped up as far as being a leader on that team, and that's why they're clearly, people keep considering them one of the best teams, but they're clearly out of the top 10 for me. And I like St. Louis to bounce back in this game as well.
Okay, I like that breakdown there. All right, with that being said, Dana, hit us with your second one.
The second one was I'm gonna go with the Ducks minus $1.06 against Ottawa. And again, we get to see what kind of guts a team has. And I use this term a lot because I think when you're handicapping a lot, the term guts can apply to how well a team is going to play at home against the better teams. It's going to apply to how well they play on the road against anybody. And we get to see where the Ducks are mentally after managing only 13 shots and a 5-1 loss against Montreal. They completely look disinterested, and I know that they played 4 games in 6 days and 11 out of 13 in November on the road. But I think that their power play is potent enough where they can get a couple goals, even if they're a little bit tired. They've had a couple days to rest, so I think you're going to get your best effort out of Anaheim. And let's not forget that the last time that these guys played, December 11th, Mike Condon was pulled after allowing 3 goals on 13 shots. So Mike is another goaltender. Like everybody thinks he's a lot better than he was, and that's mostly because he's playing on a much better team. But I still remember the inconsistent goaltender that was in Montreal. And until I can see a streak like Ron Darling or Scott Darling puts together for the Chicago Blackhawks, I'm still a little bit apprehensive about putting my money behind Mike Condon.
See, I knew he liked baseball. He mentioned Ron Darling used to pitch for the New York Mets back in the day. That's why I love doing this.
People call me Scott Darling all the time.
I'm not even talking about you. There ain't no darling about it with you. All right, so Anaheim minus $1.06. All right, Scotty, hit us with your second pick.
All right.
Or are you just going to trail Dana?
No. I think Ottawa's going to win that game, perhaps. But anyway,
why don't you go head to head with him though? Put your money where your mouth is.
See who's
crying out loud.
I'll see first.
Come on, Scott, why don't you?
He doesn't want to drop the gloves. I'm not kidding you.
I'll take Ottawa. Minus 110. I got him at minus 110. I'll take
Talk
Ottawa.
him into it.
I got another
Pull
one.
that trigger, baby.
I got another one I want to pick.
Okay.
And by the way, that was a great pick by Florida last game. They almost lost that game.
I know they did.
But they deserved it. They outplayed Buffalo, and they were just amazing. And Jagger was incredible.
One of those games, stat-wise, they totally outplayed them, but
Barkov
score-wise,
was amazing.
it was tight.
I just felt like you were going to be such an unlucky guy losing that game.
Yep.
But
and guess what happened?
They won. So anyway, I'm going to go with them again. go with the over on this game. It's minus 110. I know it's going up a little bit, minus 115, but I got it at 110.
Right. Is it 5 or 5.5?
5.
Okay, over 5.
Reimer's playing in net. Luongo's out, and I think Boston, they got really. I only scored, I think, 1 goal or 0 goals last game, so I think they're going to come out and score some goals.
Yeah, Boston's at Florida, right?
Yeah, Boston's in Florida. So over 110, over 1.
Okay.
Over 5, minus 110.
Minus 110. That's your third pick.
That's my third pick.
All right, Dana, you have any more picks for us?
Ottawa.
Yeah, we're going to go one more. I'm going to go Toronto minus $1.40 over Colorado. Colorado is, I mean, it's not a team that you're ever going to play. I'm going to play against Jared Bednar's team mostly every time that they play. They're 5-16 at home this year. They've lost 7 straight. They've lost 11 out of 13. Toronto has won 4 of 5 in Colorado. And also remember, this is a revenge game. It took Varlamov 51 saves to beat Toronto last time out.
Yep.
I don't think that's going to happen again. This is a good spot for Toronto. Yep. And they struggle too much to create offense for me. If I was going to take Colorado, it would be put my money down and cross my fingers. Betting Toronto is going to be put my money down and know that they're the better team on the ice for sure.
Wow, I like that.
Well,
Toronto.
that was my third pick.
Yeah.
I have it right here. You saw that. I only took Ottawa because
Well, we can have 4 picks. You want to go with a fourth?
Well, that's my pick. I have him at 125. I know it was going way up to 145.
All right,
but I
so-
have him at 125. I'll take
All right.
it at 125 minus.
Well,
plus,
what's the
125.
best shop line right now? Because we got to give you the best shop line
Well,
right now
I
for our
took it
viewers.
earlier for minus
In here?
125. Yeah.
Okay.
So-
You see it anywhere, Dana?
No, not as of 5 minutes ago. The best line I got was minus $1.40.
Well, we gotta do 140.
Okay, let's go 140. I'm taking Toronto. I think they're going to win.
It's a big balls play of the day,
I
baby.
think,
Canucks.
like he said, don't talk about the Canucks.
Yeah.
But like Dana properly said, that team is in disarray. That team and Colorado. I think they're the worst team in the league right now.
Yeah. It's hard to bounce back, and especially coming up on that break. I think that's a team really. They don't care if they win or lose tonight. They just want to get the hell home and try to regroup, which I don't know if that's possible. Damn it, I'm thinking about jumping on that one myself. All right, I'm going to hit you with my second pick. Here we go. I'm going to go with Carolina, believe it or not. Buffalo lost 2 straight shootout games, okay? Now, some teams can get a spark from that, but I just don't. I'm not sold on Buffalo. They got to go on the road again tomorrow. I think Carolina comes in there, and the reason I really like it is a hell of a lot of the public is all on Buffalo. So I'm going to take Carolina. I grabbed it at minus 115. Any thoughts on that, Puckheads?
I love your strategy. I mean, you're looking at hockey. You're actually into hockey now.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
watching you on the computer, and you're looking at who's playing tomorrow. It's pretty cool.
That's it. That's it, baby. That's what it's. I'm a Puckhead too.
Before the season, he said, "How do you pronounce it? Puck or puck?"
Now
he's watching
he's
games.
full of shit.
But anyway,
you're so full of shit. Your eyes are
go
brown.
for it anyway.
Yeah. Best 3 years of your life were in the 2nd grade. Okay, hey Dana, anything else for us before we call this a wrap?
No, those are my 3 plays for today. But next week I'll be in Orlando, so I'm going to try to figure out a way to do this in Orlando. But I got to get out of this cold weather.
Okay, well, we can get you. Scotty Carter can come up there to Orlando. You could fill in for Mickey Mouse up there to damn Disney World for a minute or something.
I'm not allowed in Orlando for at least 4 more years. I'm banned.
All right. I figure he's banned from everywhere. All right, guys, that's the Puckhead Show, and I'm telling you, we're getting ready to heat that ice up, and we cannot wait for after the break. But tune in because these guys are going to be tweeting at Canuck Carter and also at Dana Lane Sports. Promise me, guys, that tomorrow you're going to let our Twitter followers know, all right, what goalies are in, who's got the advantage, and give them some picks going into that Christmas break because you know what? They deserve a nice Christmas present, our viewers, don't you think?
I haven't been good this year, so hopefully Santa Claus will bring me some good luck this year.
All right. Hey, Dana, most important, Merry Christmas to you and your family, and I mean that with all my heart, my man. You're a great guy to work with. We appreciate it, and hopefully you and I will come out on top and kick Scott Carter's ass again tonight.
Well, Merry Christmas to you, Mike, and I'll ruin your ending by saying that there are some websites out there that are very good as far as confirming goaltenders. So get comfortable with one of those, and then you'll never worry about who's going to start in goal.
Well, Daily Faceoff is one of them.
We want to do that. Okay.
Yeah.
The Goalie Post is the one that I go to.
Goalie Post, okay, that's a good one. Maybe it's earlier than the one I'm using.
There you go. Good information. That's a good tool, good angle, viewers. So, hey, viewers out there, Merry Christmas to you guys. Have a great, wonderful, safe holiday, all right? Bet responsible and beat your bookie, and tune into the Puckheads when we get back.
I think Dana can see my picks.
Yeah, Dana probably did. Yeah, Dana, you're cheating again.
See you later. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Do your research before you bet. Check out our ratings guide to see which books have the best ratings and sign-up bonuses. Open up several accounts and shop for lines at sbrodds.com. Always be ahead of the game.